Pritches Get Stitches. Glad you're here. Glad you found us. Holly, how we doing?
I'm okay. I'm a little stir crazy. I've been kind of locked in the house basically for a week because it's, rainy season. So not yesterday. Yesterday? 2 days ago, I got out. It was nice in the morning, Thursday morning. So I got out for a couple hours and then rain and wind blew back in. And now it's cloudy, but super windy. So no beach again today. And it's supposed to be this way all freaking weekend.
So you don't go to the beach if it's not like sunny outside or what?
I did go yesterday. It just gets chilly. And then, when it's windy and the, wind is blowing 50 miles an hour and the sand is pelting you in the face, it's not enjoyable. So, gotcha. I'll go even if it's not like sunny as long as it's not windy, but it's been rainy and windy for the most part. So.
Huh. Well, that stinks. Yeah, it's kind of cloudy here. I think it's supposed to rain at some point. So who knows? Well,
it's been rainy here. And I'm on the windward side, which apparently is also considered the rainy side. So.
Okay.
But I'll take it. 1 minute walk to the beach. No complaints.
Well, we've got, as you can see, I got Lulu behind me. We've got school traffic coming out of school. So
hopefully she doesn't express her glands while she's standing there getting excited.
Yes, I hope not, because I don't want it to smell. So she's just waiting on Jace to get home. She knows he's coming. So anyways, well, things are kind of gloomy here. Kind of cloudy today. No sun, which is fine, because right now we got started a little bit late today recording, and right now the sun would be beating my face in. So it's kind of a good thing. It's kind of cloudy. So anyways, so Holly, moving on here to last week we talked about we were going to do a what are we eating, and you didn't go to the store and buy it. And this week you did. So This is going to be delightful. I don't know that I've ever eaten this in my life.
Me neither. I never have either.
And
pretty sure I never have.
And honestly, I don't know if I've ever even opened it up or seen it, or I have no idea. So
never seen it in real life. Here it is. Ready? Let's reveal.
There we go. The official meat. The official meat of Hawaii.
I'm scared.
Oh, this should be good. I've never opened it before.
I'm gonna bring a fork in.
I'm gonna turn my camera down here in a second so I can show us opening it. It looks disgusting. Okay, so here we go. I have this can of Spam. Never opened it before, so let's just take a look.
Pop the top.
Kind of reminds me of Vienna sausages.
It's not in water. I thought it might be in water like tuna, but it looks like a smashed. It definitely looks like a smashed Vienna sausage.
We gotta try tuna in oil.
This smells like Vienna sausage. Oh my gosh, is this just Vienna sausage?
It might be. Hold on. Let's Google that. Is Vienna sausage
pork with ham
the same as Spam?
Let's see, what does it say?
It says, is Spam and Vienna sausage the same thing? That's the question.
It smells like it. This takes, I opened it and smelled it, and it took me back to childhood.
They look similar, but are not the same thing. Spam is made from cooked meat that has been salted or may not be smoked. It is typically made from pork. On the other hand, Vienna sausage is made from fermented or salted meat, which is typically pork, beef, or venison. I'll tell you what, it looks and smells exactly the same.
Same.
Smash some of that up. Smash some of that up. Put some mayonnaise on it, and
put it on bread.
Put it on sandwiches.
You might have your new favorite sandwich, man. How many calories are in this? Share this with Jerry. Give him a Vienna sausage sandwich.
How much protein?
It does not have the consistency of Vienna sausage. 7 grams of protein.
Oh yeah,
Vienna sausage is squishier. This is kind of more firm.
180 calories. So this has if he ate this whole thing, that's almost 1,200 calories.
Yeah. Give it to Jerry.
Oh man.
You may like it. Have him add some Cholula.
Oh, it's like.
That's what I'm saying. It's like more firm.
Try to just dump it out here. You know what's funny? We started talking about Spam the other day. And
I just have a little bite, like a tuna.
and you okay? Well, I just dumped
Like
it
a chunk.
out.
Okay.
There it is.
No oil.
Oh,
What is that on the other side of it? What is the green thing?
this?
Oh, that's a lid. It
That's
looks
the lid.
green. It looked like a leaf. I was like, did you make it pretty on your plate?
Okay. So here we go. I'm gonna. Oh, it's kind of a little jelly. There's kind of a little jelly on here.
Yeah.
You can see it. Let's see.
Yeah, I can see it.
I don't know.
I just pulled out. I didn't pull it out like that. I pulled it off the top. So if you look on your sides, there's no jelly on the side. That's where I pulled mine from.
All right, I got it.
Okay,
So you
got
said
your
the
green?
best way to eat this is fried, right?
That's what the Hormel page said. I looked
Okay.
it up, and because I was never had it, so I'm like, how do you eat Spam? And
So the
you
other
definitely eat it straight out of the can, but the best way to do it is fry it or on a sandwich.
so the other day we
Fry
talked
it on a
about
sandwich.
Spam. Had no idea. I haven't haven't known anything about it. You did the fun fact of the day about Spam, and you said there's Spam masubi, which is like sushi. No joke. Like a day or two later, I texted you a picture. A friend of mine, he's Islander. He said his kids were making Spam masubi and selling it. I've never even heard of that. So, anyways,
There was something else that we talked about. Amelia Earhart. I mentioned her last week in the fun fact of the day. And then a story pops up from NPR a couple days ago that a ocean exploration company thinks they found her aircraft on the bottom of
Really?
the ocean floor. Yeah, it's pretty neat. So anyway. Okay,
Wow.
here we go. Ready? Should
yeah.
have got some vodka. I should have poured myself some vodka to wash this
Here we
down.
go.
Ooh, it's spilled on me. I don't know why this is grossing me out.
Because it's Spam. It's supposed to gross you out. I think Dad likes Spam.
I
I
think
think
Dad
he
did
likes
too.
it. But he also
Probably.
eats mayonnaise
say.
straight out of the knife on the knife. Just like, all right,
He
here we go.
doesn't do that for pleasure, though. He does it for money. Dad will eat Crisco for money.
Yeah, he's weird.
Here we go. Ready?
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, it stinks. I can't smell it.
It does
Here we
smell.
go.
All right.
Oh, here we go. I mean, it can't be worse than not Vegemite. What did we have? Marmite.
Marmite.
Surely it can't be worse than Marmite.
Oh, it's not. Okay, ready? Let's go. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2,
1.
1.
It's not bad. I might eat this whole thing.
What's the texture? Ooh, it's like mushy.
Took another bite. I love to watch you have to eat it. Put it back in the can for Jerry.
That texture.
Salty.
Oh,
If you're just listening on Spotify, you gotta go to YouTube and watch Holly. This is great.
ooh.
I think she's gonna throw up. You okay over there? Looking a little queasy.
Just gotta take some deep breaths and drink some water. Oh, my eyes are watering. My mouth is watering. Oh. Okay, so impressions.
Not too bad. I mean,
Texture is mushy. Ugh. That
Yeah.
texture is gross.
it's a little
Flavor
worse.
wise, not
too
the
bad.
worst flavor.
It is better than Vienna sausages, I think. It's been a while since I had Vienna sausages. When was the last time you had Vienna sausages?
Oh man, when I was a kid, we.
Okay, well, next week's Vienna sausages.
Oh god.
Or
Might
tuna in
really
oil.
Make me throw up. Oof.
I've never had tuna in oil, I don't think. I think I had it one time. Like, the oil doesn't come off of it. It just stays there. Because I know we had one time, and I was like, can't do it. So, yeah, you don't like the texture. It was fine. Whatever. Flavor-wise, it's not terrible. I might
No,
cut it
it's
up and fry it up.
definitely-
Might fry it up later.
You might do that with some eggs for breakfast.
So, speaking of eggs, I bought these wraps. They're called egg wraps. Egg something. Egg life.
Okay, explain this.
They're wraps
Like
made
a
out of eggs.
tortilla?
Yeah, it's like a tortilla made out of eggs.
How
Egg
does
life,
that-
I think.
How does that stay together? Like
I haven't opened them yet. So I'm going to see how they work.
Interesting.
But what's crazy is I always just put eggs in my tortillas. So then it'll be like eggs on top of eggs. Oh, maybe I'll put some
Well, then
Spam in
just
there.
Don't do
Look up the
eggs
Spam.
inside it then. Just have that as your eggs and you don't have to cook eggs.
Yeah, but I like eggs. I guess I have sausage. I can cook up the sausage and put it in there. Then it's like a tortilla-less egg burrito.
Just protein.
Yeah.
I bought eggs when I first moved here. Let's see, January 1st, by the way. Yesterday I celebrated my 31 day, I don't know.
1 month.
My 1 month anniversary.
There you go.
But I bought eggs that first week at Costco with Nikki, a dozen, and I still have a dozen.
You haven't eaten eggs at all?
I just can't get myself to eat them. I keep thinking like I can do hard-boiled eggs. Well, first of all, like hard-boiled eggs were so much easier to make when I had my Instapot.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have my air fryer I bought, and then the little microwave air fryer contraption thing that's here. But, and I do have hot plates, but I mean, I've been here for 30 days and I've probably cooked 5 times. I'm not going to lie, because it's like just such a small area, but it's not even because it's a small area. It's because like I don't have everything I need, because I moved here thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I don't need any kitchen things. I don't know what my thought process was there.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy it. I already know I have most of the stuff back in Killeen, but then I think, do I have it in Killeen? Because I think I gave a lot of it away too to like you and Chad and Kimber. So,
well, we have a salad strainer thing. What's it called? The thing you put the salad in.
Yeah, it's a salad. No, not a salad shooter. It's
a lettuce. I don't know.
Salad spinner.
Lettuce spinner. So you put the lettuce in there and it spins. We use that quite regularly.
Well, I might make you guys bring a suitcase with all of my stuff for me and that I gave away, because I told both Val and Kimber that if I need any of this, I'm taking it back. They both agreed. So,
yeah. Well, good. Yeah, we'll come visit.
I still have these eggs. How long are eggs good for?
I don't know.
There's an expiration date, but
so you cook them and they're not good anymore. I have no idea.
I don't even have a bowl, because I know you can float them in water, and I don't remember if they sink, they're bad, or if they float, they're bad. But
so what do you do with
them? They're bad.
What do you do with your life? You don't cook, don't clean, nothing. You just like, what are you doing?
Usually I'm at the beach, but it's been kind of crappy this week. So I've caught up on a lot of TV shows that I hadn't watched all month. And then like a lot. And it's funny because Scaren keeps saying like, send me a picture of your place. And I'm like, I can't. And she's like, why? I'm like, because there's boxes everywhere. Like there's just shit everywhere because I don't have a car. And I hate like asking people to like, hey, can you come over here and drive me all around town? Because first of all, gas is like $5 a gallon here. So like your sister-in-law, like Nikki does take me when I need it, but your mother-in-law's in town. And so there's been some sicknesses going on over there at the house. So I don't want to bring the germs over here. So I'm just waiting for my car to get here to go take stuff. So Karen's like, well, what furniture do you have? Because she was like, in the link, it showed picture like furniture. And I'm like, girl, that was the former tenant. Like I came to an empty place. She's like, oh, so what do you have? And I'm like, I have a TV sitting on the floor. I literally have a TV sitting on the floor, like a giant poof chairs.
Where'd you get the TV from?
I bought a TV
from
Best Buy. I bought a poof chair thing. It's not a bean bag, but I don't know how to describe it other than a poof chair from Costco because it was on sale for $100. And I thought, well, I could use that until I buy real furniture. I've got a table I borrowed from my landlord that I'm using as an impromptu desk. I've got a bed. I've got a lamp. That might be the only, a little tiny table from Nikki and some bar stools and a chair. Like, that's it. I literally eat my dinner when I do cook. I have a box. That stuff was shipped into my house that I use as my impromptu table as I sit in front of my poof chair.
Sounds like you're just living it up. Living life.
I'm not going to lie. I don't even care to buy any shit. Like, I don't even care to buy furniture because I'm like,
don't matter.
The only time I sit here at the house is if it's raining. I mean, and obviously at night right now, just because I don't have a car to go anywhere, but that's going to be changing here pretty shortly. So then I'll have a car and be out at night. Yeah. But right now I can only be out unless I want to call it Uber, I can only be out until like 6:30 because that's the last time the bus comes.
The last time the bus comes, unless he's late, then he ain't coming.
Right. Truth.
And he ain't coming. All right. So Holly, today is Bill Murray Day.
It is Bill Murray Day.
What do you got for us here with our fun fact of the day?
So fun fact of the day, decided to do some fun facts about Groundhog Day. Because today is Groundhog Day. And for the record, in case anybody doesn't know, Puxatawny Phil did not see his shadow, so that means that we have an early spring.
Yeah, it's already spring here. It's like 70 degrees.
I know. And
cloudy,
my friend Jennifer, I always want to call her Jennifer Singletary, but Jennifer Hoffman, she posted about it and then said, she was ready for spring. And I said, me too. I'm tired of this 71 degrees down here in Hawaii. It's so cold. And she got mad. Not mad, but like, stop rubbing it in.
Blocked you on
I was
Facebook.
like, I'm agreed with you. It's cold. It was chilly last night, though. I will say, like, I sat in my house and I always have all my windows open. I only turn my AC on at night when I go to sleep. And that's just in my bedroom. So last night I was sitting out here. I was like, man, I'm going to have to either put on some pants or get a blanket because it's chilly with the wind blowing in. But anyway, back to Punxsutawney Phil.
Knock on wood, it hasn't been too cold here. It's been chilly. It's been cold, but it wasn't for very long. But anyways, Punxsutawney Phil.
Okay, so he is the official groundhog forecaster on February 2nd. Although many other states have their own groundhog, like New York's Staten Island Chuck, which I just don't even like that name. That's not even like a good name. Yeah. Is a groundhog and a woodchuck the same thing?
I don't know, but I would assume if it's a Chuck, his name's Chuck, he would probably be a woodchuck.
I don't know. Google that while I'm giving out these facts, and then you can let us know at the end. Are woodchucks and groundhogs the same?
Chad, his nickname used to be Woodchuck.
Yep. Phil's full name, granted by the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club, is Punxsutawney Phil, seer of seers, sage of sages, prognosticator of prognosticators, and weather prophet extraordinaire. So, could you imagine that's your name? That's your name. Like you have to sign all of your documents.
I am the sage of sages and the seer of seers.
I like prognosticator of prognosticators.
Have you ever seen them read like Punxsutawney Phil's official forecast?
So I watched it this morning for the first time ever, which is what gave me the idea because I forgot today was Groundhog Day. But then when they were saying like Punxsutawney Phil, seer of seers, blah, 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 I didn't put much credence into it until I looked at the fact. And then I was like, oh, now it makes sense. That
they're all dressed up in like freaking 1800s
top
gear.
hats.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird.
Okay, so real quick, just Googled this. A woodchuck and a groundhog are simply two different names for the same animal.
Now we know. My favorite cider, it's made in Vermont. It's called woodchuck. From now on, I'm going to call it groundhog.
So let's see. It says, what's the difference? Okay. Did you know that it's a rodent, first of all?
I did know.
Let's see.
I'll give out too many facts, so you'll give away my groundhog facts here.
Well, I won't give away your groundhog facts. Let's see. Okay, so it's scientific. Okay. Today, most Americans refer to the animals as groundhogs, yet in British English, they're referred to as woodchucks. So that's where the two different names come from.
Interesting.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
If a woodchuck could, then a woodchuck would chuck all the wood that a woodchuck could. I can't remember the rest. Did you know there was an answer?
I say a woodchuck would chuck all the wood a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I think Lulu just came in. Man, this spam stinks. Anyway, the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club, they also host a 3-day celebration each year for Groundhog Day. So now I want to know, do they dress up in like the top hats and everything for all 3 days?
I don't know. I have to look that up. I'm sure they do. They're like...
Here, and you tell us. You're from Philadelphia. No, Philadelphia. She's going to kick my booty. You're from Pittsburgh. You're from Pennsylvania. You tell us. Is this something you used to participate in growing up being from Pennsylvania? Did you dress up in it? Like, you know how they do like the 100 days for school and all the kids dress up like as old people? Did they do that in Pennsylvania where everybody dressed up in like top hats and suits and gowns? So Karen, fill us in, Scaren.
I didn't know Scaren was a Philly girl. Anyways, continue.
Anyway, so groundhogs typically weigh between 12 and 15 pounds. And their heart rates drop to 5 beats per minute, and their body temperature decreases dramatically during hibernation.
Okay.
I feel like that's probably why Phil always looks like he's pissed off when they wake him up in February. He's supposed to be hibernating. He's like, my heart's only beat 5 minutes, or five times this last minute, and I'm tired. So groundhogs typically only live 6 to 8 years, but folklore suggests that Punxsutawney Phil sips in a quote, elixir of life that extends his lifespan by 7 years each sip. Wonder how often they make him drink that.
How many Punxsutawney Phils have we had? I wonder.
Good question. You have to Google that. So the Germans originally chose a hedgehog as their animal forecaster. I also want to know why they're choosing an animal as a forecaster. Was this done like, did they believe this? Or was this done like, let's do something different? Is this common in Germany? Do we have any German listeners? German listeners, unite. Tell us the truth. Scaren, ask Sylvia. I know your buddy Sylvia is from Germany. Ask her if this is like a common thing over there. But they turned to groundhogs instead when they discovered there was a large amount of them in Pennsylvania.
All right.
The movie Groundhog Day, now I did not know this, but the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray gave meaning to the phrase Groundhog Day, which meant to repeat something over and over again. So I've seen the movie. I didn't realize, I thought maybe the saying came before the movie. Groundhog Day was, but it didn't. It came because of the movie. So it's only been around since the 80s, I guess. And then many farmers consider groundhogs to be pests because they're herbivores and they eat fruits, grasses, plants, and even tree bark. So I guess that they destroy a lot of crops. And finally, the National Climatic Data Center found, surprisingly, is it though, that there is no correlation between Phil's prediction and the actual weather.
That's lame. Science. Can't believe science. Got to believe Puxatawny Phil.
So we'll see. We'll see how the spring comes along for you.
You know what you should look up? You know what you should look up is Punxsutawney Phil's prediction and what really happened. Like, you don't have to look it up right now. You don't have to look it up right. It's just
I feel like we got to know this.
Well, I mean,
I'll Google it.
I got 7 hours.
Punxsutawney Phil record. Okay, you ready?
All right.
It says his record is, so they've been doing this for over 130 years.
Uh-huh.
So that's our answer there. It says that, so it just gives a breakdown. It says between 2013 and 2023, he saw his shadow 7 times. And of those 7, he was only correct once.
Huh.
So overall, his accuracy rate over that time period was 36%. And overall, the Storm Facts Almanac says Phil has only been right 39% of the time, going back to his first recorded prediction in 1887. So,
as a forecaster or a meteorologist type, he's doing pretty good.
Truth.
So
hopefully his prediction is correct this year for your sake, though.
Yeah, I do. I do like me some spring here. So old Punxsutawney Phil, happy Groundhog Day, everybody. Hopefully it's better for you than it was for Bill Murray.
I will say I don't mind having a Groundhog Day here in Hawaii when the sun's out. I'm good with doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, that's true. It is Groundhog Day for you every day.
Shit all. Great.
That sure is. Okay, so a little bit about Groundhog Day. If you didn't know, there you go. Moving on real quick, Holly, to the polls. We only had one. We only had one poll.
I thought we had more, but okay.
We had a bunch last time. And the poll was, have you ever expressed your dog's anal glands? Have you ever done it yourself? And so the 2 options were yes, please share your experience in the comments. And no, that was it. And so we only had a couple people say yes. And it was me, which I shared my experience. And then a friend of mine, Cherie. And Cherie said, I watched a video on YouTube of how to do it. And I put gloves on and did it. It's the most disgusting smell ever. I have no weak stomach because I'm a mom, but smelled disgusting. And let's see. And hold on. I have no weak stomach because I'm a mom and smell disgusting diapers, but Jesus Christ help me. I will just pay the damn $5 for the groomer to do it.
Amen.
And then we had 1, 2, 3. We had 8 votes for no. That was Frank, Heidi, Holly, Kaylee, friend Brandy, Aunt Debbie.
Is this on your page though?
Meredith. Well, I mean, it's shared to my page, but they ask it on the Pritches Get Stitches.
But does the shared on your page, does that show the results from the Pritches Get Stitches page?
Yeah, that's the only.
Karen also made a comment.
Karen made a comment, but she didn't actually answer because it may have already been done. Like the poll may have been done.
Oh, gotcha.
But she can answer. So Karen did make a comment and she said, I will spend my grocery money and eat ramen for a week before I express them myself. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
Karen's the one who I only knew about expressing anal glands because Karen told me about it.
Yeah, it's
not
disgusting.
that she had done it, but she had told me that it had to be done. And I'd never done that before, never even heard of that before. And I've had dogs, had no clue. So
yeah, it's disgusting. So, yeah, so that's our poll. That's our poll for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's discuss.
I'm going to do a new segment.
Oh, I saw that. I saw the new segment.
And this is called the Hawaiian word or phrase of the day.
Okay.
So this will be good for you guys, for you and your children to learn so that when you come in May, you can sound like locals instead of tourists. So get your flashcards out and start getting your kids because they look.
I have a feeling. Yeah, but then they see me and it's like, okay, this dude's Palangi. That's what we used to call them. Samoans call us Palangis.
They're called
white.
Howlies here.
Howlies.
Yep.
Word of the day, howlies.
So, but that's not the word of the day. Word of the day, phrase of the day today is broke the mouth.
Broke the mouth.
Broke the mouth. And that is used in the sense of, man, that fried chicken broke the mouth. It means that it was delicious.
It was delicious. That's what I would think. Yeah.
Good. So that's what it means. Broke the mouth.
Okay.
So future reference, you don't need to say something is delicious. You need to say that broke the mouth.
All right. I'm going to use that from now on. Dude, that broke the mouth.
There you go. There you go. Word of the day.
Right. Word of the day. Broke the mouth. So I had some Skittles the other day and Dr. Pepper. I had to go to Colleen the other day and my back really hurts. And so I took a heating pad with me and I had the heating pad lined up in the car plus the heat seats. And I took the massage gun and about halfway between Colleen and home on the way back is a rest station, like a rest stop.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a Buc-ee's.
Well, just past where the new Buc-ee's is. And it's not halfway right now. The only one's in Temple and that's only 20 minutes. But so I'm like struggling. My back's really hurting. And which, by the way, I went back to the chiropractor and it's like my L5 and my tailbone are like this, and that's why it hurts so bad. So I stopped and I just gave in. I was like, I'm tired and I'm kind of like hungry and I'm cranky and my back hurts. And so I went to the bathroom and then they had vending machines. And so I'm like, dude, I'm just getting a Dr. Pepper and some Skittles and I'm going to see how I deal with it. And let me tell you, those broke the mouth. I will tell you right now.
Yeah.
They were delicious. So.
Were you sick?
No.
Did you get sick from it? No.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay, so Holly, the most exciting part of our week was also the most devastating part of our week, and that was last Sunday, 49ers Lions NFC Championship game, and holy smokes, what a freaking roller coaster of emotions these 49ers are giving us. 2 weeks in a row, worse last week against the Lions than the week before against the Packers, because the week before against the Packers, we at least went into halftime ahead, 7-6. Last week against the Lions, we're down 24-7 at halftime. And I'll be honest, I was not optimistic.
I thought it was going to be
happening.
Over. I mean, and I sat here by myself and watched it. And it was the amount of heart attacks I had watching that game. I should have died several times. Like, devastating. It's funny, though, because one of my best friends is a huge Lions fan.
Uh-huh.
So the whole first half, man, he was just rubbing it in, text after text after text. And then I didn't hear a shit out of him until during the second half. Nothing.
Did you text him?
Oh, of course I did.
Okay.
And normally I'm not the type, I'm very superstitious. So I normally will not talk shit because I always feel like if I talk shit, that's when we lose. So I will not participate online. I will not talk shit about any team we're playing. I just feel like if I talk shit, it's the end. And I also was very nervous because I wore my 49ers shirt. And I never wear the gear on the day of the game because, again, superstitious. But I decided I was going to wear it. And then watching that first half, I just kept thinking, this is my fault. I knew I shouldn't have worn this stupid shirt.
Yeah, but, your fault. Your fault. Yeah.
It was definitely a heart attack.
So at halftime, I texted on our Facebook or our group me, and it says I said at 7:20. So this is at halftime. I said, "So this sucks." That's what I said.
Yep.
And then immediately after that, I put go down and score because I knew we get the ball first. After half, I said, "Go down and score. Stop them. Score again. Stop them. Score again. We take the lead." That was just me.
Exactly.
That was just me hoping. And all of a sudden,
what happened?
At 7:41, I texted, go down and score. Check. Stop them. Check. That was after the 4th down that they did not get. And then we scored. Oh, then score again. Check. Stop them again. Check. I'm like, this is, you got to be kidding me. Score again. Check. And then it was 24-24 because we kicked a field goal on the first score. We didn't score a touchdown. And then I put take the lead at 8:16. Check. So everything that I put out there, boom, 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 boom. So
it was. You're
welcome, 49ers fans. You are welcome. I have the power of manifestation. So
I think my favorite thing though was looking at the on the internet. They had on Facebook, the memes or whatever, and it shows during the first half, Eminem was at the game, and it shows him just flipping off the 49er fans and losing his mind, and then it shows him at the end of the game, just looking mighty devastated. No,
my favorite was C.J. Gardner-Johnson waving goodbye when it was 20-7, and
that was great. They waved back. Who was it? Kittle and somebody else?
Kittle and Werner waved back, but it was 20-7, and he's waving goodbye. And I shouldn't do that. So
there you go, talking shit. That's what happens when you talk shit. That's why I don't do it.
So I'll post. I'll share this picture of my family after the game. I'll put it up right now. There it is. Picture of my family after the game. And every year so far, we've had a family picture. And beat the Cowboys again, beat the Packers. And here we are holding up our number ones. So it was a good game. It was terrible to watch.
Got in on that.
Yeah. She's got the Niners jersey now too. It was terrible to watch the first half. I'm just like, what is happening? Like, what is going on? But dude, they showed up second half, and it was a great game, a great 30 minutes. Great for both teams. Like,
but I'll tell you, I hate games like that.
I know.
I hate them. Oh, they're the worst.
Yeah, terrible. So we have no game this week, but we have a game 2 weeks from now, Super Bowl. So excited for Super Bowl coming up.
I know, and I'm a little nervous because so I have to travel to the mainland this weekend. So I leave late Sunday night, and I have to be there for work. So I arrive Monday morning early. I have to go to Dugway on Tuesday for work, and then getting my haircut Wednesday, flying from Utah to Texas Wednesday night, leave early Thursday morning in my car to drive my car to Long Beach. And I have to have it there by 4 p.m. on Friday. And then I'm trying to get on a plane Saturday morning. So it's going to be a very tight schedule that there can be nothing can go wrong because I have to get it there because I want to be back here to watch the Super Bowl. I mean, I wouldn't care if I was in Texas to watch it with the family, but I can't do that anyway because the latest my car, because I've already paid for it and everything, and the date, I have to have it there no later than Monday. So I couldn't even leave Sunday to watch. I couldn't stay and watch it with everybody in the league.
Right.
So the tenant who used to live here, my 87-year-old landlord called me last night, and, to shoot the shit. She calls me and we chat. Even though she lives downstairs, we just talk on the phone every once in a while, pretty often. So she called me and said that the old tenant, Jeff, he's invited her and I. The boat salesman. He's invited us to hit their place to watch the Super Bowl.
All right.
So.
Well, I got Heidi's coming up.
Mom and Dad coming
supposedly. Up? I invited them. They're going to Brett's house, I think.
Okay.
He old Pops just had a surgery on his carpal tunnel surgery. So I don't know how up to traveling he'll be, but
truth.
I mean, he did get his eye out, and about 5 days later traveled to my wedding. So, I'm like, Dad, you couldn't have scheduled that the next week.
Pirate.
So all of our pictures at our wedding, he's got him with his eye patch on. But
yeah, but now you've got the beauty of Photoshop. I bet you could Photoshop that eye patch out. You wouldn't even be able to see it.
It's okay. But the problem is none of the pictures were digital. It was in the time where it was
oh, good point.
It was still, everything was, we just took it down and got it developed. So yeah, so it'll be fun. I think the Super Bowl will be fun. Win or lose, obviously we want to win. I think we have a good shot. I think we have a better team than we have. I think we have a better team than the last time we played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And I think the Chiefs don't have as good of a team as they had when we played them. So I think we got a shot. We should have beat them last time, but
And I think it's a better.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
I think it's a and I think it's a more closely matched. I think it's going to be a close match versus if it would have been Lions versus anybody or Ravens. I don't want to say Ravens Niners because but I don't know.
Oh, right. The Ravens spanked us last time, but I don't think it was as. They didn't spank us. They beat us by 2 touchdowns, which you can call us. They spanked us. But when you look at the stats, I sent you this. Did I send them to you? The stats?
Yeah, you did.
Like we beat them in every category.
I was shocked that we
have
so
5 interceptions.
5 interceptions.
5 interceptions, and that killed them. But had we not had those 5 interceptions, I think we would have beat them. I don't think there's the better team. But anyways, Holly, we've been talking about this for a while, and every week we just get thrown off. Last week we had the power outage, which was terrible because the show, your video was terrible after that happened. But I am still. It's been a month. You just celebrated your month anniversary there in Hawaii, and you keep telling me about your 85 or 87-year-old landlord, and I just don't know anything about her. Listeners don't know anything about her. You just talk about her a lot. So tell us about your landlord. What all we know is that her grandson plays for the Texans. That's all we know. So you have to root for the Texans.
Correct. But she's she's 87 and she still drives everywhere. That's a little nerve-wracking. So whenever she drives and I'm with her, I just get on my phone.
You don't offer to drive?
So I don't. She's not the type who would allow that. Right. She is very in control, very alpha. So she still goes to work.
I'll tell you what, man, when Grandma
is the accountant for a law firm. When Grandma drove,
man, you just close your eyes and hope. She was only 78.
I was 16 and started driving because I was like, I can't die. I cannot die with this lady. I love her. She would get so close to those parked cars that I thought for sure we were going to hit those parked cars.
Oh, and she drove a boat.
Time.
She drove a boat.
Oh,
Freaking Lincoln Town Car. 92 Lincoln Town Car, man. Silver. It's awesome. Every time I see one, I always want to get it.
I always think of her. But yeah, so that's how she is. Her name's Susan. But she's got this she's got like an old lady posse is what I call them. So that's who, like when we watch the football games,
right?
It's her old lady posse, Jeff, the old tenant, and me and her daughter. But it's like these old ladies have some stories. I mean, I don't know. It's funny, but she has been here since 1975. She golfs twice a week. 18 holes. I'm like, girl, that's
18 holes twice a week.
Twice a week. She's 87.
She is 87.
She's the accountant, the main accountant at a law firm, like does all the payroll. Like she still goes to work. And she and I went out to dinner last week and she just makes me laugh. Like I don't know. She's a drinker.
So
she's just this.
Is she Hawaiian or is she like of Asian
descent? Nope, she's white.
Oh, she's white.
She's white. So I said, so was your husband? So I found out her husband died. So I said, oh, okay, was he Hawaiian? And she said, no. So her grandson, who plays for the Texans, her son married a Hawaiian girl.
Oh, okay.
So her grandson is half Hawaiian. And they just had a baby, actually. They're coming in February this month to visit. So she gets to meet her great grandson. But anyway, she's very kind of like set in her ways and it's hard to tell her anything. So for example, like the day that our power went out,
right.
The internet was down all day. She calls me, says, I've been trying to do everything I could to get the internet to work. It's just not working. So I was like, well, I'll come down and see, so she's like, I've rebooted it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, one thing that I do is I run an IT support contract. That's like my everyday job. And so I have network engineers who work for me. I have 3 of them, like 43 years combined experience.
Yeah, you were telling us last week.
Oh, did I tell this story? Couldn't remember. Yes. Yeah, how she just... Oh, all right.
That was the one story that we got was she trusted her best friend, the previous tenant, the boat salesman, more than your IT guys.
That's right.
Which is fine.
Anyway, yeah. It's funny because I finally ended up having to send her a check because I've been trying to get her to kind of convert over to Zelle forever. And I just felt like there was some reluctance to do it. So I finally go online to my bank and I have them cut her a check, which they have to send in the mail. And she calls me down a couple days ago, after I'd already sent the check. And she says, hey, did you want to help me set up this Zelle? I've been thinking about it. And it seems like it might be a good idea. So I said, okay. So, because she's very anti like Venmo. I don't know why. Like she doesn't want to do anything like that. So I go down and I help her get Zelle set up.
Well, I can understand Venmo. A lot of people are anti Venmo in the sense of it's a third party. It doesn't cost anything to send money to, person to person. But there's an extra step and there's somebody else that's now holding your money, right? So PayPal, who owns Venmo, now has your money, right? And you have to go through the extra step. You got to transfer it now to your bank. Whereas Zelle is strictly bank to bank.
Into bank.
So I could understand that. And actually Zelle, I think, is a better concept to me. But I like Venmo because it's like fake money almost. Like it's my real money. Like I have real money. Like I can put that money back into my bank account. But the Venmo account for me, we don't like add money to the Venmo account. Like, oh, let me add money to the Venmo. Because if I don't have any money in the Venmo account, if I don't have enough, it just pulls from my bank account, obviously, if I'm going to pay somebody.
Right.
But people pay me in Venmo, then all of a sudden I got $300-400 in Venmo, and which is not protected, by the way. So if Venmo to wherever to go belly up, it's not protected. And so I try not to keep a ton in there, but then it's like $300-400 of like play money that, I probably needed it for something, but it's like, oh, somebody needs it. Like Holly, you say, hey, send me $30 for whatever. Like it's not like real money coming out. So for me, I like it. It's like Monopoly money because I get to just play around and like, there's no real.
It's not coming out of your bank account.
There's no real.
Your budget.
Yeah. There's no accounting for it. So to me, Venmo is better. There's also Cash App and then there's Zelle.
Right.
And so I would be interested to see though, and we can put this up on the poll, who, like what people prefer, like what's your number one preferred method of, electronic transfers. And so I'm going to put that up there. I think the only three that I can think of are Zelle, Cash App,
Venmo and PayPal.
Venmo and PayPal. Does PayPal even do like a person to person one?
They do.
Like, because they have Venmo.
They have Venmo, but they still do PayPal. Still does person to person. You can do it.
So then I'll put other as well and then have them tell me. But so what is your preferred? Because mine is Venmo just because it's super simple. Zelle, I'll pay people like our lady that comes over and does piano lessons. She does Zelle. So I just pay her Zelle. But when I send out a request, like for the volleyball team, like, hey, I paid for our team to participate. Everybody, it's X amount of dollars. Here's my Venmo. Almost every one of them will Venmo. Some of them Zelle, but most of them will Venmo. And then that's where I get my money.
I normally prefer Venmo only because Zelle has stricter limits. So for example, you can only send $1,000 a day using Zelle within a 24-hour period. Where with Venmo, I want to say it's 3,000 within a 24-hour period. And then the amount that you can send over the course of the month is significantly lower with Zelle than it is with Venmo. So when I send my landlord rent, for example, and this has been any landlord or even when I had, mortgage payment, I split the payment over my paychecks throughout the month. So I'm paying in advance. And so with my rent here, having to pay, I pay $3,000 a month. And I can't just pay $1,500 to her using Zelle. I have to split each payment into $1,000 one day, $500 the next.
Gotcha.
So that's annoying, but I thought it was a step up. And so when she called and said, "Do you want to like set this up?" So I went down and I,
Now, can you change that? Sorry. Can you change that like as a debit card? Like a debit card, I can only pull cash out X amount unless I call the bank and I'm like, hey, I got to make this.
No
large
Zelle
transaction.
Nope. Across the board, it's $1,000 limit a day. So I typically get paid every other Friday, but because I bank with USAA and our company uses ADP as the payroll service, my pay goes in a day early. So when I wake up Thursday morning, my paycheck's there. So yesterday I sent her $1,000 in the morning, right when I first woke up at like 3:15. And then today I sent her the remaining balance of the 500. So I was up to speed, but she ends up calling me last night and she's like, thank you so much for, setting me up on Zelle. This is just so easy. Like I get a little notification that says that, you've paid me this money and what it's for. And now I've trying to figure out ways I can incorporate this into the business. So it's not that she's anti technology or anti learning. She just never had anybody show her how to do it.
Right.
And so when she was like, we were talking about setting up the Zelle for her, she was like, I was like, well, I can't pay it for February. I already have a check and it's coming in the mail. And she's like, well, this is so much easier because she can choose which account she wants as her primary. So she has like her rent account, the money that goes in for rent set as the primary so that when I pay, it goes directly into that account. And she's like, well, it saves me having to go to the bank. I don't have to, go in and wait for the check in the mail and blah, blah, blah. And it's there immediately. So I've got her up to speed on that. And I'm slowly winning her over. So when she called me last night and we were chatting, I said, well, I was going to come down and talk to you tomorrow, but I said, I just was letting you know that I'm flying out this weekend to the mainland. And, immediately she's like, well, when do you leave? And I said, Saturday night or Sunday night at 10:30. She goes, oh, I'll be out with my girlfriend Saturday night. So I can't,
I can't take
you to the airport. I said, well, that's okay. I already got it arranged with my sister-in-law. She's going to take me. So anyway, she says, I said, so while I'm there, I decided that I'm going to fly from Utah to Texas and drive my car to California and have it shipped. She goes, oh, shoot, that only gives me a week then to clean out the garage for your parking space.
Oh,
so, I mean, you mentioned it again. So I think I'm in. So I was like, she's like, do you think it'll fit in there? I said, well, yeah, I think it'll fit. Every garage I've ever had, it's fit, it's because she's just concerned about it being too long or.
Yeah,
it is a longer car.
I was in Killeen the other day and I meant to go take a picture of it for you and say, hey, here's your car. I don't even know if it's still in the garage. I have no idea. I was going to check and then I forgot. So hopefully it's still there. It is Killeen. So someone could have taken it.
Very true. Very true.
I don't know. But yeah, I had to go down to Killeen. I had to go install some new monitors. Talk about a deal real quick. Sorry, I totally.
You just installed new monitors.
Okay, so my brother-in-law, Chris, I was in Utah and we're up there and he's got this ginormous monitor. I mean, biggest freaking monitor I've ever seen. One big curved screen. I mean,
round. Yeah,
huge.
They're crazy. Right.
And he's like, best thing I ever did. And I said, okay. And for me at my house, I got three monitors. Really, they're TVs. They're not even monitors. They're TVs. And I did that strategically. Number one, because TVs are cheaper than computer monitors for the same price, for the same size. And number two, it has it's a TV. So it's got smart TV. So it's got I can put all the apps on it. So when I'm working, I can sometimes we'll just come in here and because the only TV we have downstairs is in my bedroom. And so when you guys come over to watch the game or things like that, most of the time we would go upstairs and watch the game upstairs. Right. But recently, over the past, few times you came and then with Chad and Kimber, the games were at dinner time. And so it was we were making dinner and then we're watching the game. So we moved the TV out. So anyways, with that, during football season and other times, there will be times I just come in here and turn on ESPN app and watch the game in here. So anyways, that was strategic by me. So anyways, I just have three monitors. They're actually just 21 or 24 inch. I think they're just 21 inches, but it works. It works for what I need. So anyways, I'm out there. Chris is like, hey, I got these two monitors. I can't sell them. I've been trying to sell them on Facebook. Do you need them? Could you use them? And I'm like, yeah, bro, I could use them for sure. And so he says, okay, you can have them. Just take them. I don't need them. So 27-inch monitors. So I take them home from Utah and I go down and I install them for Heidi. So she's fired up. She's got those free. 2 free monitors, 27. So then one day I'm on Facebook and one of my neighbors posts, hey, I've got 2 27-inch monitors. I don't need them anymore, blah, blah, blah. $60. I'm like, total. Done. I'm like, done. So I got basically 4 monitors for $15 each, essentially. Nice. So I took those down for Eleanor. Well, her desk is not as big as Heidi's desk in the sense of depth wise.
Space, right.
And so I took them down. It was a little tight, but she's got these 2 huge monitors now right in front of her face. And hopefully it makes their work a little bit easier. Man. Yeah, man.
Life is good. Because that was, I'll tell you, I saw some monitors when I was down there that I'm like, I didn't even know this was a style of monitor in my life. It's
some old monitors.
Where, from the 80s. Maybe not that old. Maybe the 90s.
It was one of it shifted up and down. It had a little thing and it was tiny, but weird. It was what it was. Honestly, I don't even know where we got most of those. I think most of them just been for free. People gave them to us. And so, The only thing is I have to go down there. I didn't have a lot of time to stay down there. I could not get the computer to connect to the monitors via the HDMI cables on the newer ones, the ones I just installed. I could not get it, but luckily it still had like the VGA cable. So just hooked them up that way with, I had a HDMI converter and a USB converter. I think because that's how they were already hooked up once. So it like couldn't figure it out. Like, oh, this is straight HDMI to HDMI. But anyways, it still worked. So that was why I went to Colleen, was to set up some new monitors. I try to upgrade those ladies every once in a while. But
shit, if that's an upgrade.
Anyhow, listen, they had some small monitors.
If you provide them with shit stuff to start with, anything new they get,
upgrade. That's right.
They're grateful and they're excited for it.
But I'll tell you what, though, and I know Heidi listens, but I'm gonna say it anyways. She might get mad at me. No matter what I give that girl, man, she just wants, now let's go on to the next thing. She's ready for the next big thing. So
that's it.
I got her 2 monitors. She wants a third. She wanted 3. So it was like when I
took the 2 from Eleanor.
When I first gave them monitors, because initially they were just working off their laptop, right? So it was just their laptop. And I'm like, hey, 2 monitors would be better. So we hook them up with 2. Now and then she's like, well, I need a second monitor, so I have 3 screens. So I get her that, and then I get her the bigger ones, and now she's like, she hasn't said it yet, but I'm waiting for it. Well, now I need, she did say, now I need a third monitor so I can get but I
have 3 for work, and I will say it is convenient. Now I have 2 monitors, and then I use my laptop monitor, but it's very hard. It's good for me because I have to do a lot of reports where I have to pull from different documents or, stuff online or whatever. So when I have to do those on one laptop, that's a pain. So it is convenient to have multiple. So I get where she's coming from, but
yeah, it's nice. Multiple monitors is nice.
Right. And I do have my team. It's funny because every year we do what's called a bulk buy, where my team, because we are the IT support contract, we also do the logistics. And so my team is in charge of preparing the list of new technology that we're going to buy for the year for the division. And so every year my software developers, because, my guy who's a logistician, he sends an email out to the team and says, hey, is there anything that you guys need? We can send it up to the chief and see if he'll approve. And every year my 2 software programmers or developers put the giant monitors curved. They want that whole setup. They always request it. And every year I'm like, no, they are not getting that, because it comes out of like the division budget.
Right.
And so I'm like, no, that's like half the budget for these 2 dudes alone. Yeah. Like, you can work on multiple monitors like the rest of us. And they're like, oh, it'd make our job so much easier. I'm like, it's not going to happen, guys.
It's kind of like when I was at at church, I was over all the youth that we call the young men. So I was over that, and we would have to submit a budget every year. Say, hey, this is what we need in budget. And at the time we were doing Boy Scouts. And so the Boy Scout, the Scoutmaster, I would like his was the main program. So, it was like, hey, whatever you need first, and then like we'll deal with the rest. And so I'm like, so just submit what we want. And so he, straight face, I'm like, okay, did you get the budget? And he's like, yep. So I'm like, okay, tell me about it. Straight face. He's like, we're going to need $6,000 this year. And I'm like, $6,000? Like, I don't even know if the whole congregation has $6,000, let alone like $6,000 just for the Boy Scouts. He's like, yeah, well, we're going to go here and we're going to go here and we're going to go here. And it's going to be $6,000. And mind you, we had like 12 boys, you know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, $6,000. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we get like
300,
600 max, or 1,000, because we have Boy Scout camp in the summertime, which really doesn't go into our budget. It just kind of was,
right.
It was like kind of an outside thing, but outside of Scout camp, what do you want? And he's like, 6,000. I think that's going to be a good number. I think we're going to do a lot of fun things. I'm like, okay, well, it ain't happening. So $6,000.
That's how my guys are. Yeah. I was like, we want these monitors, and they don't choose like, they choose the very best. Well, we did our research, and they're funny. Like, I love these 2 dudes to death. They remind me a lot of my son, Anthony, but they're like, we did the research, blah, blah, blah. Here's what we need. And I'm like, okay, justify this to me. Like, make me understand why you both need an $8,000 monitor.
And they probably can't.
Giant. Oh, well, it would just be blah, blah, blah. And their justification, I'm like, and you can't do all of this on the monitors that you currently have. Like, you guys already have giant monitors. Like, my monitors, I think now, I was on 27-inch monitors forever. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I walked into my my team's office, my help desk team, network team, cyber team, they all kind of sit in a big open space together. And I'm like talking to my logistician, Barry, and I'm like, are these monitors bigger than the ones that I have in my office? It's like, yeah. I was like, I'm going to need 2 of those.
Do you still have an office in Utah?
They just gave my office away. My girls, so I have 3 women who work for me, and I call the cyber girls, I call them the cyber ladies. So they message me and they're like, your office has officially been given away. So my one cyber lady is like, she's held my key. She's also like my assistant.
Right.
And so she's like, I cleaned your office out for you. So I have all of your stuff. I'm like, all right. So I no longer have an office.
How's it feel?
I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm not upset.
What's the next step?
Well, hopefully they don't fire me.
Yeah, it was always
I'm going out there next week. And my company CEO and the company CSO and my boss are going to be there. So I'm like, ooh.
Well, we used to always joke. We used to always joke at Automax when I worked there. It was like, you could be the best tech, you could be the best service advisor, and you get promoted. They're like, oh, we need a service manager. So you get promoted to service manager. And it was just Automax because they were just douchebags, essentially. And it was like, as soon as you got promoted to manager, like the next step was out the door. Like you couldn't go back to being the service advisor. You couldn't go back to being the technician. It was like you just got rid of your best service advisor or your best tech because you wanted them to be the service manager. They didn't perform like you wanted them to perform because for whatever reason, they weren't, born to be the manager. And now they're gone. And so we always joked like, hey, if you get up into that spot, like the next spot is
out the door. That's
out the door.
That's when you don't take that promotion.
No, and there were guys that didn't. I knew some guys that didn't. For me, I was like, if I was going to stay, like that was kind of my goal. Aspiration was to be the service manager. And then I realized pretty quick into this deal that this is not what I wanted. About a year and a half in, and I'm like, this sucks. Like I don't want to do that. Yeah. So, anyways,
that's kind of like how I feel with mine. Like they forced me to take the promotion last year. And then this year there was supposed to be another promotion where they were going to make me an actual like director over my own. And I'm like, listen, I don't want that. Like talking to my boss.
Yeah.
Like, I fought off this promotion for 3 years. I don't want another promotion. Like just leave me where I'm at.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's like
take it now though, considering the cost of living.
Yeah. I don't want to be promoted either.
I will say though, this is exciting.
Okay.
I filed my taxes today.
Oh, hello. I gotta get mine filed.
But the last 3 or 4 years, I have owed in the thousands, like thousands,
So
thousands upon
you ain't got
thousands.
no kids.
I know, thousands. Like the amount that I've owed is sickening.
Right, I know. I remember.
So this year I decided, well, one, it was good that I didn't have estate income tax for last year. And last year was the first year I ever got a return from Utah. Every year I've always owed a shit ton. And last year they sent me $39.
Oh, big money.
Rolling. But over the last 4 years, the amount that I've owed has gone down, but I mean thousands. Like last year was 6,800, I think is what I owed. The year before it was like 8,500. Before that, it was like 10 grand. So I filed them and I owe $240.
Wow.
So I filed it. I paid it. IRS already accepted my return. That's the fastest they've ever accepted a return. I filed it literally right before you and I chatted. I filed and I already got the thing that said IRS accepted your payment and taxes.
So for me, I always pay the top amount of taxes that I can pay out of a paycheck, even though, because I'm married filing jointly, but I'm paying like, I have them withheld as if I'm single filing separately or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I end up, because I have 4 kids, which is helpful, I end up with, that's $4,000 of taxes paid essentially already.
Right.
Plus, the amount that I get back on top of that because of, either a loss in the business, which doesn't happen often. It's not usually a loss. But just having overpaid for the year, plus my deductions for my personal deductions and all that stuff. So I end up getting quite a bit back, which makes you angry. But I pay just like you guys. Like I have a paycheck and the paycheck has the taxes taken out and all that stuff. So,
but I'll say though, Still doesn't make me want to have kids just for the tax. Thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah. I love kids, man. They're great. They're great.
I mean, they're great. Don't even want it for the tax break. But I think that last year I finally figured it out, like what I need to claim. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. Figure that stuff out.
Good. I'm excited.
So Holly, let's, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, but I want to share one last thing. I want to talk about one last thing in my life.
Okay.
And that is that I talked about it before, but we created this brand, right? I was trying to think outside the box for our business and like Compass Process Servers, like what can I do outside the box? And I created a brand called You Got Served. And if you've watched the past couple of weeks, you've seen my hats. I had one on earlier and then I was like, oh dude, 49ers. I gotta rep the Niners this week. And so we launched it. We launched the brand. We launched the website. We launched the online store, I should say. And we made our first sale. So I was pretty excited about that. Pretty excited about that. And then I thought to myself, why don't we launch some Pritches Get Stitches swag ourselves?
Oh yeah, that's fun. Let's do it. This is brand new, everybody. I'm hearing this at the same time.
Holly's is hearing it for the first time. So I've actually already got some of our original logo. I've already got it up and I actually printed it out, was going to put it on a hat, but I didn't print the sizing right. Sizing wasn't right. So, so I'm going to get some stuff printed out and we'll have it, on our store. And it'll be the Pritches Get Stitches swag, guys. As you guys know, like I'm not sitting here, like by no means am I like, hey, give us money by any means. Because we do this, one day, maybe the podcast will pay for our lifestyle, but, we do this like for whoever listens. We do it for whoever listens, right? And it's fun for us to do this together and to talk about stuff. And sometimes it's interesting, and sometimes you may be like, "This is not interesting." But the swag will just go to help us to pay for our spam or whatever. So, anyways, it's just a way for us to. I just thinking about it, a way for us for you guys to have some fun things, and for us to, obviously I'm going to have some fun hats and things to wear.
Right. And we do have, expenses, like we do have equipment expenses. We do have subscriptions for software that we use for editing and things like that. I mean, granted, it's not a ton, but it would help, but it's also would help just to get us out there. Also, if you're wearing it, maybe somebody's going to look it up and say, what is that? But by no means are we saying everybody needs to go and buy it. Whatever you buy, it would be appreciated. It would go back into our show. It wouldn't be for. And
we'll get some funny sayings. We'll get some fun sayings on there, like, what did you say about George Michael?
Why?
Why George? Why? That's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be our first shirt. Why George? Why?
Why George?
And I'll have somebody crying, and I'll say
I'll have
Pritches
my
Get
face
Stitches
on there and my fake cry. Why George? Why?
Yeah. That'll be the first one. If you want a Why George Why shirt, I'll put that on the poll too. Would you buy a Why George Why shirt?
And they're not going to be expensive. It's not going to be like an $80 sweatshirt or anything.
No, it'll be like $79.99. So
exactly.
It won't be $80. It'll be $79.99. So anyways, I just thought about that. Thought it would be fun. Thought about that earlier today. And I think those would be a spot I can put on the store I already have. So I can make another store, I think. So we'll have some swag here coming soon. I mean, I can just get it up real quick. It doesn't take me long to kind of get the stuff up. But anyways, in doing that, also I've realized and learned that maybe I could have, not only create the brand and create the shirts and the products myself, but also like just a new business idea of just simply brokering some deals with shirts and apparel and things that people need for their businesses. So we've got some stuff in the works already. So
I was telling you the other day, I think I might do the same thing here. And you were like, well, you can just do it for me, but then I'd have to worry about shipping and all that. So if I just buy the stuff and do it here, I was just trying to think of like, I could come up with like a surf company. Everybody wants the shirts that are like Hawaii Surf Company or whatever. So I was like,
Honolulu Surf Company.
Yeah, I'll see if there's something and I'll put it on there. It'll be Holly Honolulu, or another one I just thought of was like a, Kailua Surf Company or paddleboard company. It'd have to be paddleboard on this side. But I mean, they have farmers markets all over the place here, huge tourist industry. So I was like, I could totally just have that.
The Honolulu Surf Company.
Yeah. Like,
What do you
I'm gonna
sell?
it.
I sell shirts and hats
That's
that
it.
say Holly Honolulu Surf Company.
Honolulu. That's it. That's it.
There you go. That'd be fun.
Maybe one day I think though, I was thinking about it because I have a lot of time, even when on the days I do go to the beach, I'm not at the beach past usually 5 because it starts to get a little bit dark.
Right.
And then what do I do? Like, yes, when I have a car, it'll be different. I'll go out, but I'm not the type anyway that goes out every night, especially because where I want to go out, it's across the island. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if I were to go to Honolulu or whatever. So on the nights that I'm not out, that could just be something I could do while I'm watching TV. So I thought about it and I was like, I think I'm going to do it. And I've got a friend who builds websites. And then we have a nephew who worked in the marketing industry for a really long time and understands that, Google algorithms and things like that. So he's told us he could help. So
go. Let's do it. The Holly Honolulu Surf Company. That's a good one.
That's a good one. Put that on the poll too.
I'll take 10%. The Holly Honolulu. What? Is Holly Honolulu Surf Company a good name?
Would you buy something from Holly Honolulu? Holly Honolulu. Why
the Holly Honolulu Surf Company. It's a lot of L's. There's a lot of L's in there.
It is.
So. Well, anyways, Holly, Honolulu. Let's go ahead and finish out. I've got a daughter texting me in desperate need of a ride home because it's raining.
I hope it's Lexi.
It's raining outside.
Ava could run in like 3 minutes and be home.
I don't want Ava running. She was down, actually. Ava was down all week. She just went back to school for the first time today. She's been down with the flu all week.
Wow.
She didn't even she watched the game, but she was very lethargic during the 49er game.
That's surprising because Ava's never.
I knew something was up.
Yeah.
Monday, she walks in. She comes and wakes me up Monday morning, and she's like, "Dad, I need to go to school." This was her reasoning. This is her reasoning. She said, "Dad, I need to go to school because I always have a lot of work on Mondays, but I just don't feel like doing anything." And I'm like,
right.
Let me get up and let's go check your temperature, 101. I'm like, you're going to bed. And so she stayed home, and a couple of her friends, like our volleyball team, we have 3 of our 9 girls are out. Her basketball team at school Monday, they have 32 girls on their basketball team. They only had 16 at school.
I was going to say
it's going around.
Going around here too. I follow a couple groups in the area. And there was a lot of them posting in this Kailua area where I live about like, is anybody else sick? And then just something's going around. They were talking about how the school, same class, like the girl was like, or a lady was like, yeah, my daughter's in a class. There's 30 kids and there was 14 at school today. Yeah. So it's going around. New strain.
Yeah. So she's out there. She went to school for the first time today. We have a volleyball game tonight, but I've already told her like she's probably not going to play. Just because she's got a cough. She's got a little bit of cough. So anyway, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. Let's finish up for today. And no football game this weekend unless you watch the Pro Bowl. But next week we can discuss what we're doing for the Super Bowl again, and it'll be fun. I'm excited for the Super Bowl. Can't wait.
Probably not going to be a show next week though. I'm traveling.
Oh yeah, Holly's traveling.
It might be if I can do it Saturday. Probably not Saturday.
Probably no show next week. So guys, probably no show next week. We'll probably have a show post Super Bowl. So good vibes to the Niners. We're going to go in there and smash them. It'll be a good one. Manifesting that right now.
Truth.
All right, guys. We will see you next time. Take care.
Aloha.
Hey, what's up, my channel? Please hit the drop a like and hit the subscribe button. Looking for my first subscriber. Can't subscribe myself. Can't do that for some reason. I don't know why. Wish you could.